Ciao a tutti! My name is Michalina and I'm an European Solidarity Corps volunteer in Enjoy Sicily. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about Erasmus Plus exchanges on university, and this is going to be a solo podcast. The reason I have decided to record this podcast is the fact that the new academic year has just started, and also pretty soon the recruitment for Erasmus Plus exchanges is going to start. And this is always better to know beforehand if we would like to take part in the recruitment and where we would like to go. So with telling my story, because I have participated in an Erasmus Plus exchange during my university, I've been in Valencia in Spain. So with telling my story, I would like to encourage those of you that are hesitating about going to Erasmus, that are not sure if this is something for them. I would like to share my story and maybe help you a little bit with overcoming your doubts. So first question will be why I decided to go to Erasmus Plus exchange after all. So I've always wanted to try how it would be to live in another country for a bit. And actually, Erasmus Plus exchange is a great way to try it because it is all in, I would say, kind of safe environment. So you don't have to worry about a new job. You are getting an Erasmus scholarship, so this is also good financially for you. And in general, this is a great possibility to meet many people from the whole Europe and even from around the world. And also to try yourself in a new environment, for you to see how are you dealing with some unexpected situations. But also it's a great way to just travel, see the world, and also learn another language. Having all those benefits in mind, I started to think more where I would like to go, where do I see myself, and if I would like to go for 1 year or just half a year. I have finally decided to go for half a year, for 1 semester, for second summer semester. And I have chosen Valencia, Spain, to be the destination of my Erasmus. And I'm going to tell you how I chose Valencia. So on the page of my university, on the sub-page that was the international office page with all the more bureaucratic information about going to Erasmus, I found a list of universities across Europe with which my university had an agreement. So that meant that those are universities to which you as a student of some certain university, you can go for your Erasmus. So this kind of widened my choice. Of course, there is also possibility to go to a university that your university does not have an arrangement yet, but you also need to do a lot of work to make it happen and to make those two universities have an arrangement. So this is just easier to just choose the university that is already on the list. I wanted to go somewhere to really enjoy the early spring, and also somewhere where I could go and also learn some language that was interesting to me. During that time, I was learning Spanish already a little bit. So I thought it would be also a great possibility for me to expand my language skills. Also, I would say that very important thing when you consider your destination for Erasmus is checking out the grant that is assigned to every country, like the Erasmus Plus grant, so the money that you will be getting monthly. Checking the level of grant is important because that will also suggest how much are you going to have for living. But the very important thing is also to think about how expensive is life in a country that you are going to visit for your exchange. For example, there are countries that are really expensive, such as the Netherlands, France, but there are also countries that are quite relatively cheap, like for example Romania, Poland. So while choosing a place to stay for Erasmus, especially when money is an important issue to you, it is good to just consider and think about all the financial things and about all the life costs that you are going to have to bear in the place that you will go to. So Let's say you have already chosen the place to go, the destination. So next step will be to take part in the recruitment organized by your university. As far as I know, in most universities, the practice is that you need to indicate 3 universities that you would like to go to, 3 destinations, in an order from the most wanted to least wanted. So also have in mind that it may be possible that you may not get to the location you like, the dream location. So also in advance think about 2 other places that you would also be happy to go. Because also there are destinations that are more popular than another ones, and those are also mostly destinations in the warmer countries. And applying to those destinations, you also need to have in mind that getting accepted there might be a little bit harder. So it's always good to have some backup, some destinations that would also be nice. So this is that thing. Also, important thing to consider when going on Erasmus is language, because some universities, like for example many universities in Italy and in Spain, will not offer classes in English, or the classes in English that they are going to offer are not going to be a lot. So if you would like to go to some particular country, first you also need to check if you know the language of the country. And if you do, that's perfect, nothing to worry about. But if you know this language a little bit, or if you don't know it at all, it might be a little bit hard, because also the obstacles can arise from both your university and the university that you would like to go to, because none of those would like person who doesn't speak the language of the classes to take those classes. So this is also important thing to get to know how it works, and if you need to have a certain level of language if you would like to go in a certain place. But also to many countries, communicative English is enough. So let's say that the paperwork part is already behind you, that the recruitment was successful for you, and that you are going to go to your dream destination for Erasmus. So now I can tell you a little bit how it was in my case, or what helped me during the first days and weeks in Valencia. So about the beginnings, there are actually 2 stressful things. First one are classes themselves, because there is this stereotype that classes on Erasmus are really easy to pass and that you don't have to do anything. It's just like Erasmus is like for fun, meeting people, learning language and stuff. In some cases it might be true, but also in some it's not. But also those first days when I was finding out exactly the rules of the classes and also the rules during the semester, the assignments, the exam, how it's going to be, it was a little bit stressful because it was different than the system I was used to. But of course everything was manageable. It was really a nice experience, and also it was an opportunity to try something new when it comes to a system of teaching and system of learning. So those first, let's say 2 weeks, there were also the weeks in which I needed to confirm if all the subjects that I declared I'm going to take, if I really want to take them, because during those first 2 weeks, it was the time to make changes. Luckily, it went well. I had to make one change, but it was accepted. And after that stressful time, it started to, life started to be more of a routine. I started to build my own routine because I knew already which times I'm going to have classes, and I could plan my life around it. Another potentially stressful thing is meeting new people. So in my case, I have known in advance one of my friends that was already in Valencia, and it was, of course, great. But also I have met many other people on the events, parties, and also exchanges that were organized by ESN, Erasmus Student Network, Valencia section. So, for example, in the first days, I took part in a city tour. I also went for one trip that was to like a nearby castle. It was a bus trip, whole day. Also, we visited some other cities, like in the regions nearby. I liked it because I both met new people and also explored new places that wouldn't be so easy to reach with public transportation. So yeah, I would also recommend you to take part in such trips during your Erasmus, because it's the easiest way to explore the area, especially the places that are not so easy accessible. I have also been going to parties organized by ESN, and not only. And this is also a nice way to meet people, because also many other Erasmus students are also going to those parties. So you can meet international friends there. Yes, so I would say that those were the most important parts of my Erasmus experience. Oh, and also I can also say that if you would like to learn a language of a country that you're in, first check if your university that also you're doing your Erasmus in doesn't offer the language courses. Because, for example, in my case, I was attending the Spanish course that was organized by the University of Valencia, and it was in a really affordable price and on a high level because those were university teachers. So this is the thing that I would recommend. Also the same with sports. Before you will start a membership of a gym or something like that, it's also good to check if your university doesn't have some gym, or if it doesn't offer some other kind of physical education classes. For example, in Valencia, I was taking yoga classes that were also with a very affordable price. And the variety of things that you could do besides yoga was huge, like from also like team sports, but also more gym kind of thing, also things like aerobic. So everyone could find something for themselves. So those are 2 additional advices. So I would say this is all. I hope that those of you that were hesitating about going to Erasmus feel inspired now. And I wish you all a lot of great travels in the future. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Ciao.